YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and we are back here on Destiny 2. Alright folks, we have a ton of Destiny 2 news to go over. Luke Smith addresses the future of Destiny with regards to content, and also we get a preview of what's coming with the next update. I want to give you a quick apology right away because my voice sounds awful. I am still battling off a horrible cold, but let's get into this video, guys. By now, hopefully you know that Bungie and Activision have parted ways. I covered that last week. So we're going to see a lot of the fallout and, well, see what happens this year with regards to Bungie self-publishing and how everything is going to work out. So Luke Smith kicks off the This Week at Bungie with a pretty long letter to us, so I'm going to read it verbatim. And it says Destiny franchise director Luke Smith, so I'm not sure if his title has changed, but that's a pretty big one right there. Luke starts it off. Hey everyone, I wanted to share 3 things on behalf of the Destiny team today. First, our sincere thanks to the people at Activision who've helped bring Destiny to our players, High Moon Studios for their wonderful collaboration on Forsaken, and Vicarious Visions who helped establish a Destiny community on PC, worked with us on Warmind, and who is currently readying their Destiny's swan song with content that will appear in the upcoming season of the Redacted. Well, we know the next season is called Season of the Drifter, and then Blizzard Entertainment leaked out a while back that the summer one is going to be called Season of the Shadow or Season of the Shadows. Luke Smith continues with, in the short term, we're continuing to build the content we've promised for the annual pass. We've learned a lot from Black Armory that will apply to future releases, most notably that we'd like the beginning experiences of content drops to be a better point of convergence for the player base. In Black Armory, we set the power requirement for the first forge too high, and that meant it wasn't a great chance to jump in with some new content. We want to find the line between new content that many players can play and aspirational content for players to progress toward. We're exploring improvements to catch-up mechanics for players in upcoming seasons. Luke goes on to say, long-term, Bungie is committed to Destiny. We created the universe, and we hold its future entirely in our hands. The vast majority of the team is hard at work envisioning future experiences, enemies, and way to play the Guardian you've been building since 2014. We're going to keep doing that. We're thinking about what it means to be truly independent, what it means to self-publish, and crucially, what Destiny's future can now look like for our players. It was a busy fall, and it's going to be a busy year. When I look ahead and think about Destiny and where it could go, I see a bright future, with roots in a memorable past. Not everything has been lost in the dark corners of time. See you soon, Luke. So, what do you think in the comment section? What do you think is going to be the future of Destiny 2? Here's what I'm hoping for Destiny 2 and also the future of Destiny in general. I'm hoping in September we get a big expansion, and based on the ending cutscene for Destiny 2, it looks like we'll be back on the Dreadnought, and hopefully the rumors all point to Savathun. So I hope we get a big Forsaken-like expansion, and then I hope the following year we get Destiny 3. But the question is, how will they handle year 3 of Destiny 3? Will we get another annual pass? What do you guys want to see? Remember, when the Taken King came out, we had a huge content drought. This year, we don't have a content drought. We have this annual pass, which is kind of drip feeding us content, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. Other than that, I cannot get any Forsaken exotic armor pieces, except I got 2 so far. But let me know in the comment section, what do you think of the future of Destiny 2? We are getting a huge update, 2.1.4. Now, I covered part of it last week when we learned all about the supers. Supers are getting, well, a bunch of them are getting buffed and a few nerfed. This time, they're talking about weapons in This Week at Bungie, or weapon archetypes. So Victor Anderson is going to give us a rundown of some of their goals with what they're doing with Update 2.1.4. So the first goal is to buff underutilized weapon archetypes, adjust hot button weapons in PvP, including Telesto and Wave Splitter, and avoid PvP adjustments that will negatively affect PvE efficacy. Thank God they're doing that. So the first one on the chopping block is going to be auto rifles. Damage is going to be increased for the rapid fire, adaptive frame, and high impact families. We find that auto rifles are a little unforgiving for the ranges they ask you to occupy in a world with special weapons, and as a result, we're increasing the damage to offset the higher risk. Scout rifles, damage increase for lightweight and rapid fire families, as well as an increase to all scout rifles in PvE. I'm doing a clap right there because I want to use my Nameless Midnight, or the 20 of them that I have that are god rolled sitting in my vault because they have been useless and I love scout rifles. They continue with, scout rifles are always going to be on the lower end of damage due to the safety that their range affords you, but the difference continually between them and other primary weapons is too drastic. As a result, we're reducing the size of the gap. Sniper rifles increase the damage of the rapid fire archetype to be able to kill in 2 body shots. Although snipers are still finding success, we believe that allowing you to clean up a kill easier with a sniper rifle will allow the sniper to have that success at more ranges and in more situations. Next up, we have some tuning to some exotic weapons. First off, the Legend of Acreus increased the damage and bumped out the range slightly. As time moves on, things tend to trend upward in terms of power, and in a post-Forsaken world, Acreus simply didn't have the output to match other heavy weapon exotics. Then we have good old Telesto. PvP damage brought down to match a standard fusion rifle charge rate. Optics, and zoom for that matter, will also be increased to match fusion rifles with long-range scopes. Telesto has become fairly notorious in the Crucible for its effectiveness, even in some cases getting accidental multi-kills due to how damaging the explosions were. To combat these, we've reduced its PvP damage to match its charge rate. This brought up an issue where doing so was significantly hurting the usability of the weapon, so the optics were buffed in return. In general, you should still find it an effective weapon, it just won't be quite as generous as it was before. Now for the trace rifles, we have increased the minimum amount of ammo you could receive from special ammo boxes. Trace rifles had a pretty rough time keeping ammo reserves in the Crucible as it doesn't have access to scavenger perks. You should have more success using it more often in the Crucible now, and the changes will also affect PvE bricks. However, they are reducing the strength of the Wave Splitter in PvP, and if you're on PlayStation, I have the Wave Splitter. That thing is amazing in PvP. After the ammo changes noted above, Wave Splitter had its one weakness removed, so we've opted to bring it in line with the other trace rifles before this patch hit the public. We also have a number of changes to the Black Armory, and I'm going to laundry list them right now. First off, your Ballistic Logs, they're no longer going to be removed at reset. They're going to stack limits for Ballistic Logs increased to 5 per character. Now with regards to weapon frames carried across reset now refund into the following. Gold frames refunded into 1 Ballistic Log, silver frames refunded into 3 Modulus reports. Any instance of a Radiant Matrix will be removed on weekly reset. Players should stop experiencing the issue where frames are missing from Ada's inventory on a week-to-week basis. Players may still only purchase up to 2 gold frames per week. Drop rate for Black Armory lore increased from 10% to 20%. Now requires successful forge ignitions for a chance for it to drop. Quest steps that require players to defeat a high-value target on Nessus no longer requires a player to land the final blow. Modulus reports and Ballistic Logs will now go to the Postmaster if lost. Cap on Modulus reports still at 15 per account. Forge emblems will be awarded when completing a forge, no longer requiring a specific bounty to be completed. So that is all you need to know for the This Week at Bungie. I will link the full This Week at Bungie in the description. There's some more information regarding anything that you may want to report in terms of issues and also the community forums and so forth. So I'm going to take some NyQuil and try to get some rest tonight, and let me know what you think in the comment section of all the changes to not only the Black Armory stuff, but the exotics and also those weapon tunings. I can't wait for this update to come out. Last week they did say that they're shooting for January 29th, so I'm really hoping that it does make it for that update. So that's it, guys. Babble mode is engaged. Because I can't talk because my head feels like a frozen pineapple. Do me a favor, leave me a hashtag, made it to the end, drop a like in this video, only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.